Welcome back to another piece of advice. Thank you for listening in. Today's episode is titled, Nothing is Going to Fix Everything. Again, let me explain. I often come with weird titles, but we're going to explore this, and it's basically around just our individual progression and improvement in life, because I want to briefly chat about how we view that individual progression and our individual improvement, because I think a lot of us are looking for epiphanies, for like quick fixes and just that one thing or that one moment that'll fix everything. Unfortunately, like this approach is fairly unrealistic, and it doesn't teach any patience or any discipline. And like, I don't mean for this to be blunt, but I want it to be more of a reassuring and calming thing, reminding you to take things slow and to trust in the process. Nothing is going to fix everything. There'll be many small fixes for many small things throughout life. And it goes back to that knowing versus, understanding idea. Certain things will just take time to sink in, and certain things will take time to fix, and it's more of just a building block thing instead of just one block that's going to fix everything, right? Because you yourself are a puzzle to figure out, especially when there's trauma involved that you're not even sure, or you didn't even know that was there. And this is not just like this is trauma in terms of just things that didn't go right, and moving forward from that can be really hard, right? But you yourself are just a puzzle to figure out. That's the goal, right? And we want to live inside out instead of outside in, because we want that core view or that core perspective to be, everything that we need is right here. You want to know that. And again, that more takes time to just understand. So be patient with yourself. It's unrealistic that things will change overnight. And even if you focus on a particular habit to change or improve, you might not see immediate change. But just because you don't see the immediate results of something, it doesn't mean it's not working. I advise you to just trust in that process that's in front of you, that's in your hands, instead of the end goal that's so far ahead of you in the distance, on the horizon. It's like climbing a mountain, like the mountain being some sort of habit or element in your life that you wish to improve. And like you look up and you're like bending your neck backwards, looking at the huge task at hand, and overwhelming thoughts start to filter in. And you can't expect to climb it in one day, but often if we're impatient, that's the view that we have, right? But you can't expect to climb that mountain in one day, especially without, rest and constant reflection about, how you move up the mountain, right? But what you can do is focus on the first task at hand, that first hill to climb or the first path to start on. Overall, the only thing you can really focus on is that first small change to make, that first little tweak. And speaking from my experience, just myself, like looking at my habits and areas where I can improve, there's a lot that I can work on, and I'm conscious of that. I try to look at the things I'd like to improve through that, mountain analogy, but also like the puzzle I mentioned previously. I can start with an obvious piece, like the corner piece, as we all do with puzzles, right? For me, that obvious piece, that corner piece, is like basically just hydration throughout the day, and ideally trying to get to like 4 liters, right? I'm not just going to go drink 4 liters first thing in the morning, just chug. Again, it's something that you break down and you simplify for yourself, and it's basically just a building block to improve during your day. I'm going to start with something very simple, filling up a drink bottle and keeping it in reach with me as I start my day and keeping it reach with me as I go to work or for whatever I do, right? Over time, this small change, amongst others, will help me hydrate on a more consistent basis, and there we go, like this healthy habit has been formed. But this in and of itself isn't going to fix everything, but again, it's a building block. And I can give myself a pat on the back just by making that small change of filling up the drink bottle in the morning, having it there ready to go. That's that first hill. That's the first hill to climb when we're looking at the mountain. That's the first path to take, right? So when I say, oh, nothing is going to fix everything, what I mean is that no one thing will change everything. Like, we are a puzzle to be constructed piece by piece through trial and error, through some logical thinking, through some failures, and through some willingness to ask for help. So again, be patient with yourself, especially with this process. Sometimes you're not in the right place to focus on what you can improve, and that's okay. You don't need to be having spectacular days every day full of growth, full of productivity. That's no realistic way to live. So I hope you found something from this, something helpful for you as you navigate this thing we call life. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for listening, and have a good one.